Most people don't get divorced because they married the wrong person. They get divorced because they never asked the right questions. And what is truly wild is that the same person who swore they loved you will switch up the moment you ask them these 5 questions. If they hesitate, you need to run as fast as you can. Because marriage doesn't destroy people, secrets do. The crazy part is that most people don't avoid red flags. They just date with their eyes closed and call it love. Then 3 years later, they are on social media crying that they didn't know he or she was like this. Trust me, you are about to save yourself from a lifetime subscription to pain. If you are in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, you know that time is your most valuable asset. You cannot afford to waste another 5 years on a person who isn't aligned with your future. Before you tie your life to someone else's, you need to be an investigator, not just a romantic. You're gathering information, observing patterns, and stopping the habit of romanticizing red flags. You're finally going to stop confusing chemistry with compatibility. Because anyone can love you when it is convenient, but someone worth marrying will love you responsibly. Marriage is not a fairy tale. It is a high-stakes partnership. And partnerships only work when both sides walk in with truth, not fantasies. Let us get into the 5 questions that will define the rest of your life. Question 1. What does commitment actually mean to you? This sounds like a soft question, but it is a nuclear bomb in relationships. Everyone says they want commitment until it is time to actually be committed. Some people think commitment means, I choose you today. Others think it means I choose you unless someone richer, more successful, or more convenient walks by. Some people want loyalty from you, but they want freedom for themselves. They want you to be a locked door while they remain a rotating chair. You must define this early, or you will fight endlessly. For some people, commitment is purely emotional. For others, it is strictly physical. For some, it means building a legacy together. For others, it just means posting your face on their Instagram feed to look stable. Ask them straight, what does loyalty look like to you in the real world? What does respect look like when we are exhausted and angry? If someone tries to flirt with you at work, how do you respond? If someone flirts with me, how do you feel I should respond? Commitment is not a feeling. It is an architectural decision for your life. In the modern world, we are drowning in options, which makes commitment harder than ever. If your partner believes that there is always something better around the corner, they are not committed to you. They are just waiting for an upgrade. You are not interrogating them. You are protecting your peace of mind. Because marriage without aligned expectations is just a slow-motion car crash disguised as romance. If they answer this question honestly and clearly, you have found a mature person. But if they get defensive, irritated, or start calling you too serious, congratulations, you have found someone who is absolutely not ready for marriage. A person who fears the definition of commitment is a person who plans on breaking it. Do not ignore the silence that follows this question. In a world of endless options, commitment is a conscious choice to stop looking. Make sure they have actually made that choice before you give them your life. They need to understand that commitment is a verb, not a noun. It is something you do every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. If they cannot articulate what staying means, they will surely find a reason to leave. Question 2. Who do you become on your worst days? This is the real test of character because anyone can be lovable when they are happy. The real question is, who do they become when life hits them in the face? Marriage is 80% regular days, 15% great days, and 5% days that feel like a psychological horror movie. You must know their dark side before you tie your life to it. When they are stressed, do they shut down or do they lash out at you? When they are angry, do they talk it out or do they disappear for days? When life overwhelms them, do they communicate or do they self-destruct? This is not about drama. This is about emotional survival. Relationships do not collapse from the good days. They collapse from the days nobody wants to talk about. You need a partner who can regulate their emotions without turning you into an emotional punching bag. If someone refuses to talk about the worst version of themselves, that is their worst version. We all have shadows, but a partner must be willing to bring that shadow into the light. If they blame everyone else for their bad moods, They will eventually blame you for their unhappiness. Watch how they treat the waiter when the order is wrong. Watch how they react when they lose money or fail at a task. That is the person you are actually marrying, not the one who buys you flowers on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Life will eventually bring tragedy, sickness, and failure to your doorstep. When that happens, do you want someone who hides in the bathroom or someone who stands beside you? Character is built in the valleys, not on the mountaintops. If they lack the tools to manage their internal storm, they will eventually burn your house down. Do they take responsibility for their emotional state, or do they expect you to fix it? Marrying an emotional infant is a life sentence to exhaustion. Choose someone who knows how to be calm when the world is chaotic. Question 3. What is your real relationship with money? I do not care how romantic someone is. If they cannot manage money, they will drag your life into chaos. Money is not just currency, it is behavior, discipline, and emotional maturity. You need to know if they save or if they spend impulsively to fill a void. Do they carry secret debt that will become your burden later? Are they financially independent or are they living off vibes and dangerous delusions? Do they invest in the future or do they buy unnecessary nonsense every weekend to impress strangers? Marriage magnifies money problems. It never fixes them. If one person is responsible and the other handles money like it is a joke, resentment will build until it destroys the house. This question reveals if you are marrying a partner or a parasite, a builder or a burden, a teammate or a walking financial liability. Don't be shy about this conversation. Ask for real answers, not fake speeches about their potential. Everyone will say something convincing, but the truth is, in their bank statements and their daily patterns. Financial infidelity is just as destructive as physical infidelity. If they hide a purchase today, they will hide a bankruptcy tomorrow. You are not being greedy by asking these things. You are being a responsible adult. A marriage is a business as much as it is a union of hearts. If the business is failing, the hearts will soon follow. Money is one of the top reasons for divorce worldwide. It represents how a person values security versus immediate gratification. If your partner thinks credit cards are free money, they are a danger to your future. You need to know if your goals for retirement and lifestyle actually match. One person wanting to travel the world, while the other wants to save every penny is a recipe for disaster. Get specific about the numbers and the habits. If they refuse to show you their financial reality, they are showing you their lack of trust. Question 4. What are your long-term non-negotiables? People always say they will figure it out when they get there. That is exactly how marriages end in bitterness and wasted decades. That is how people end up raising children with someone who never wanted them. Non-negotiables are the things you cannot compromise on without losing your soul. Ask them directly. Do you want children or do you truly value a child-free life? Do you want to live in this city forever or do you dream of moving abroad? Is religion a cornerstone of your life or just a social tradition? Do you expect a traditional household or a modern equal partnership? How do you feel about gender roles and the division of labor at home? These are not small conversations. They are life-shaping decisions. Marriage is not just about falling in love, it is about staying aligned. You can love someone deeply and still be completely incompatible. That is one of the most painful lessons people learn far too late. Your non-negotiables define the life you want to lead. If someone cannot respect your boundaries, they are not a partner. They are a roadblock disguised as a soulmate. Don't wait until the wedding day to find out you have different destinations. Alignment is the only thing that keeps a marriage moving in the same direction. Conflict over non-negotiables is like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. You can force it to move, but you are going to ruin the engine. Be honest with yourself about what you truly need to be happy, and be honest with them about what you cannot give up. Sacrificing your core values for a relationship is a slow form of suicide. You will eventually wake up and realize you don't recognize the person in the mirror. Alignment is not about being identical. It is about moving toward the same horizon. Question 5. What do you hide from the rest of the world? This question is a lie detector without the wires. It is the reality check that nobody sees coming because everyone hides something. Some people hide trauma that they haven't healed. Some hide addictions that they haven't faced. Some hide a controlling nature that only comes out behind closed doors. Others hide the fact that they are not actually emotionally available for a deep connection. You are not asking for every dark detail of their past. You are asking for honesty and self-awareness. You want to see if they can be vulnerable and transparent with you. If they say they have nothing to hide, you should be very alert. If they laugh it off, be careful. If they instantly change the topic, do not brush it off. The point isn't the secret itself. The point is whether they are honest enough to show you who they are. Marriage requires emotional nakedness, not perfection. The problems people hide are usually the problems that destroy the foundation later. If they cannot trust you with their truth, you cannot trust them with your future. Transparency is the only way to build real intimacy. Without it, you're just living with a stranger who shares your last name. Secrets act like a cancer in a relationship. They grow in the dark and eat away at the trust until there is nothing left. Asking this question invites them into a space of radical honesty. If they take that invitation, you have a chance at a real connection. If they decline it, they are telling you that they aren't ready to be truly known. And you cannot build a life with someone who is hiding behind a mask. Before you say I do, your job is not to fall deeper in love. Your job is to gather information and observe the truth. Stop romanticizing the red flags and start trusting your intuition. Marriage is built on clarity, alignment, and emotional intelligence. It is built on a mutual willingness to communicate even when it is uncomfortable. Anyone can love you when it is easy, but someone worth marrying will love you with their actions every single day. Marriage is not a fairy tale. It is a daily commitment to a shared reality. So ask these questions now, not next year, and definitely not after the wedding. Watch their behavior more than you listen to their words. Trust consistency, not charm. Trust patterns, not promises. Because at the end of the day, marriage doesn't ruin people. Choosing the wrong person for the wrong reasons does. Choose wisely and protect the peace you have worked so hard to build. Your future self will thank you for the questions you were brave enough to ask today. Don't settle for chemistry when what you need is character. Character is what remains when the excitement of the honeymoon fades away. Character is what answers these 5 questions with honesty. And character is what makes a marriage last a lifetime. Take the blindfold off before you sign the contract. Real love is not blind. It is fully aware and chooses to stay. But it only stays when the foundation is solid and the truth is clear. Be brave enough to ask and be strong enough to walk away if the answers aren't right. Because dying alone is a tragedy, but living with the wrong person is a slow death every day. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear the truth. Protect your heart, but more importantly, protect your future. I will see you in the next one.